Hey everybody, welcome back to my shop. Really quick video today. It's going to be a nice shop project. We always like shop projects because they make your life a lot easier. Now I have a track saw which is over 8 feet long and it's great for breaking down those big 4x8 sheets of plywood. But when I have something a lot smaller and I just need to make a crosscut but it's too wide for my sled or my panel sled, then what I need to do is just get a small track and have my battery operated circular saw to just, make a really quick cutoff. So what I'm going to do today is make a circular saw guide, which is quick and easy, leftover pieces of scrap that we have from other projects we did, and it's going to save you a ton of money and a ton of time in the shop. Now I'm just going to make this 50 inches long because the most I'm going to use this for are small pieces that are maximum 48-inch cutoffs. Alright guys, so let's get started. First thing you want to do, take your circular saw and you need to look at your plate that it's going to ride on. If you have battery operated, make sure you don't have your battery in, and if it's powered by a plug, then you want to make sure that power cord is out. So now what I'm going to do is just turn it on its side, take your tape measure, move the blade guard back, and just measure from the plate to the saw. Now this is actually 4 1/16 inches. So what I'm going to do is make the bottom piece, which is going to be the sled, I can oversize it. I'm going to make that about 8 inches. Now the reason I want to double it, I might even make it 8 1/4. The reason I want to double it is because I want to have a nice wide plank or sled for this to ride on, and I'm just going to use a 4-inch wide piece of 3/4 inch plywood as my straight edge. And I'll show you how we're going to attach everything and how it's going to work as soon as we're done putting everything together. So I'm going to use 1/4 inch Luan for the bottom of the sled. I'm going to cut that down to the size I need. And right now what I'm going to do is make this 50 inches. So I'm going to mark this at 50 because that extra 2 inches will give me a little bit of overhang on a 48-inch piece, and that'll allow me to start the blade a little bit behind the workpiece of a maximum 48-inch cut. And at the end I won't have any run out, and it'll be a little bit easier to have that just to overhang on the end of the piece. So what I'm going to do is mark this at 50. So now that we have both of our straight edges established on both of these pieces, the sled and the fence, we're going to attach them with glue and some staples. So what I'm going to do is basically this is the way it's going to sit. So now I know that this was 4 1/16 from this side of the guard to the blade. And since it's going to be running along the fence here, I don't want to set this back 4 1/16 because I want to make a zero clearance edge, so that I know when I put this edge along the line of what I'm cutting, the blade will cut exactly where that edge is. So what I'm going to do is set it back to 4 1/4. That'll give me plenty of clearance to make that cutoff. And 4 1/4 on this side. Okay, so now that I have it tacked in place, I took the clamps off and I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to put some more staples in it to really secure it, and then once the glue cures, it'll be a permanent fix. Okay guys, now here's the cool part. We need to make our zero clearance. So what I did was, you could see why I oversized this sled. Not only for the zero clearance cutoff, but if you look on the back here, you'll notice I have these squeeze clamps. Now what that's going to do is allow me to clamp this down to the workpiece and not have these clamps interfere with the saw as I'm cutting it all. Because what they're going to do is actually sit below the back of this fence, which is going to allow the motor to pass without hitting the top of those clamps. So now I'm going to just go ahead and cut this zero clearance off. Hey guys, well that's it for this week's shop project. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys make one of these with some scrap plywood that you have left around your shop, because it'll serve you. I can't even tell you how many countless times you'll be able to use it. Now this saved me not only a ton of time, just making the jig, knowing that I'm going to be able to make these short cutoffs 1, 2, 3 in my shop with my cordless circular saw, but at the same time I don't have to pull out my track saw, set it up, hook it up to a vacuum, get that long 8-foot track to cut this small piece, which is only 22 inches wide. If I was to get my 8-foot track and put this thing on here to make this cutoff, flopping around on both sides. Now it's all right if I was out there already cutting in the garage the 8-foot piece by 4 foot wide, because then I can just turn the track so everything's already set up. But now if I have to cut a piece that's 48 by 48 already, and I need to trim it down to 24 by 36, I can just use this jig and cut it both ways and then trim everything up to its final dimensions on the table saw, and I'm all good. So it's going to save me a ton of time, a ton of work, and when you're more productive with your time, you can make a lot more projects. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure that you subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. There's a picture of a little bell next to the subscribe button on my channel. Make sure you click on that, so this way you can get notified every time I upload a video, which is usually on a weekly basis, sometimes on a bi-weekly basis, like I said, depending on the time that it takes to make the size of the project that I'm actually working on. Some projects are larger than others, so they take a little more time. Alright guys, so make sure you follow me on Instagram. You'll see videos and pictures of upcoming projects and things that are in the works, so this way you know what to expect, and then the video should be following that very shortly. Alright guys, I'll see you next time.